Okay, hey everybody, thanks for clicking on this video. We are going to practice loose roses, drawing and painting loose roses. Very simple, very easy. I know you can do this. It is not hard at all. Okay, and if you look down, well, I'm looking down. I'm trying to make sure you guys can see everything I've got placed up here, and I guess it's pretty good. Okay, this is a color swatch that I made a few months ago, and I have the colors that I used here laid out over here to the side. We have scarlet red, phthalo blue, lemon yellow, and titanium white. And out of these three colors plus the white, I have made all these swatches, and we're going to do this today. We're going to use some of these, but first we're going to practice drawing and painting our very loose, impressionistic roses. It's not hard at all, like I said before. Okay, so here we go. Hold on, let me lock my screen so it's not going in and out on you guys. All right. So you can do these roses in two different ways. You can do them using C curves, which are just these very simple little marks like that, or you can draw them with triangles, making these little triangle marks. Okay, so let's start with the C curves. And let me put my glasses on. Hold on. What we're going to do is, like, okay, when you have a rose, you're staring face down into the rose. The middle is tight. And as you come out, the petals fall out bigger. You always have bigger petals near the end, the bottom of the rose. And they're going to fall open. So that's how we're going to do this. We're going to start with C curve. So remember, and if it helps you, if you don't want to get this big, gigantic, bulking rose, you can always just draw a circle, make it the size you want it to be. It doesn't have to be perfect. Actually, you'd probably rather it not be perfect because you want an organic shape, not mechanical cutout. Every rose look the same. So we're going to start in the middle. Oh, and I also have brushes laid out. I have the color wheel here. We're going to look at that. Brushes, towel. Okay, back to the rose. So we're going to start in the middle. And we're going to make these little C curves. And remember, the inside of a rose is tight. And then as we go out, it gets bigger. So we're going to do these C curves. Hope you guys can see this. This is the middle. It's tight. And then as we move out, we're going to get looser. And you see how already, look in the middle of the rose I've started, right here, it's going to make this rose look like it's facing this way already. Your brain is going to fill that in. So basically, the center of whatever flower you're drawing, roses, daisies, peonies, it doesn't matter. Black-eyed Susans, whatever you're trying to paint or draw, the way you shape the middle is going to be, it's going to help determine which way your flower looks like it's facing, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I hope you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, so let's keep going. We're going to make our C curves, and the further out we go, the bigger we get with them. Then you can have some petals falling out off the edge, and there you go. You have your simple C curve rose. And you can make as many or as few petals as you want. It's your rose, how you want to do it. Okay, so now let's do the triangle rose. Okay, so same thing. We're going to start in the middle. And we're going to make these little triangular marks. Remember, the middle's tight. And you just make it any way you want to. It's your rose. And then as we go out, the petals are going to get bigger. Just keep making marks until you get something you're happy with. And this is your triangle rose. Now, you can also integrate these two, triangle and C curve, which is what I normally do. I just start sketching, and what happens, happens. So let's do that. I'm going to start with a C curve, I guess, and we'll see what happens. This is normally how mine turn out when I'm sketching them. The further out I go, the more triangular my petals seem to get. And again, if you look, it's already facing, looks like it's going to be facing up this way. And then we have the petals, that are falling out. And that's your two together. Very simple. They are very easy to do. I know you can do this. So let's flip. Let's see, I want a clean sheet. We're going to start again. Because the best way to learn these is to practice, practice, practice. Draw, draw, draw. Stitch, stitch, stitch. Okay, we're going to do another C curve. Let's see if we can get it to face. For some reason, mine want to face this way, which is fine. If you can get it to go the other way, by all means, do so. I'm going to lay these petals out. Simple. Looks like it's facing this way. There's my center, and these are my outlining. Hold on. I think somebody might be in my yard. Give me 1 second. Alright, I'm back. I think it was just the neighbors. Okay, so let's do another triangle. And we're just going to make marks. Tighten up the center of that rose. Just make them any way you want to. Where you feel like there needs to be a mark, put a mark. Very easy. We're not going for realism. We're going for impressionistic, if you could even call it that. Remember, the further out you go, the bigger your petals seem to get. Okay. And then, of course, you can always add your leaves to it. You know, however you want to do it. Jagged leaf. Jagged. However you want to do it. Okay. So practice those. So just you practice that. Practice, practice, practice. I sit down. I sketch flowers all the time when I'm watching TV. It's what I do. Okay, so now let's do a little simple loose rose composition. Let's do that. All right. So I think I'm going to go with just mixing the two like I normally do. I'm just going to do my regular loose rose sketch. I'm not going to try to combine it or not combine it. We're just going to do it. It comes out how it comes out. Okay, so, and like I said before in some of my videos, I always go for odd flowers instead of even. It looks better to the eye, in my opinion, but you do what you want to. So I'm going to say there's 3 flowers here. Let's put 1 there, 1 here, and a smaller one here. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start. Hope you guys can see this because I can't tell. All right. Trying to keep my hand out of the way. I've got to remember the camera is angled different, so make sure you guys can see. Okay, let's do this one. And if my cats jump in the camera, I'm sorry. They're already looking sketchy over here, like they're trying to figure out what they can get into. Let's see. Some on the end. And then let's do a tinier one here. This one's not going to be quite as big. I think I overshot on the circle. I mean, you're basically just making marks, doing what you think's pretty, okay? Because we're not copying anything. I'm not looking at a picture. I'm not looking at a bouquet in front of me. We're just doing what feels right. Intuitive art. You're going to do what feels right to you. All right, that's our 3 flowers. Now let's put some leaves in. And how I do my leaves, like this, and I usually come up like that. I don't even stop. There's a gap there. Up, up, down. Up, up, down. And the more organic the leaf looks, the better, in my opinion. But you can't always just, you know, do it the typical, whatever feels right to you. I just like doing them fast and loose. The faster you are with your paintbrush, pencil, pen, charcoal, chalk, markers, whatever medium you choose to use, the faster you go with it, the looser and more organic it's going to be. The slower a person tends to draw or paint, the tighter the composition tends to be. Okay. And I do love to overlap a lot of my leaves and stuff. Once I get to the end of the composition where I'm bringing everything together, I like to overlap some leaves and vines and berries or filler flowers or whatever's in there over the main parts, because it looks better to me. I don't know. It looks better to the eye to me. You don't have to, but that's what I do. Like right there, I overlapped, so I'm going to take this part of the petal off. I can't see through the leaf, obviously. And we're going to draw that back in. Okay. Let's overlap something. Let's see. Let's do one right here, coming out of this one. Overlap. And see, my vein, my veins are never, you pay attention to my paintings, and I don't care, because it's what I do. It's what I feel comfortable with. My veins, some of my leaves, I'm sorry, my cat's over scratching on something. Some of my veins come out the bottom, and some come off the top. It just depends on what my hand feels like doing at the moment. So there we go. I'm like, that's overlapped a little bit. I love that. And let's see. I'm going to bring some out this way. That overlaps, so I'm going to leave it and just take the flower part out of it. Let's get rid of this circle. I don't normally draw a circle. That was just a little tip for you guys. If you don't want to go too large or too small, if you find that your flowers aren't the size you want them to be at the end, you can always just start with that circle and just make sure you stay within it to keep it the size you want it to be. Okay. I'm not going to get it all erased, but some of it's bugging me. Okay. And another pretty leaf that I've learned to sketch out, and I just recently seen somebody do this, and I can't remember who it was, somebody on YouTube. It's usually drawn with sunflowers, but I'm going to go ahead and show you guys because I thought it was so pretty. And it's just a heart. It's a heart. It's like kind of like what this is over here. You just draw a heart, big heart, and bring your vein in. And that's your leaf. Big heart, bring your vein in, that's your leaf. I mean, and it looks really good with sunflowers. I know it just looks like a basic heart right now, but you attach that to a sunflower or daisies, and it's really pretty. Okay, so, and there's our bouquet. I'm just going to kind of, oh, I love putting these little twirly things in. I don't know what they're called, but they look nice sticking out of a bouquet. And then you can add some baby's breath maybe sticking out somewhere, which, how to sketch out baby's breath, it's just this. You're just going to, I'm going to go back and show you my leaf page in just a second, and my filler flowers. I made a little, is that. So let me go back this way. Hold on. Show you guys. Let's see. See, that's what I was doing with the, I don't know if you can see it. Sunflowers and the heart-shaped leaves. Right here. This starts, it goes back this way, and I'm going to show you, like, we have a thistle spray, a berry spray, a baby's breath, a billy button. All these are filler flowers or leaves for bouquets. Let's see. And then here, seeded eucalyptus, a lamb's ear, dusty miller, boxwood. I have them all sketched out, so when I need a quick filler to go in something and I can't think, I'll just flip to this and pick one. I like the lamb's ear. That's probably my favorite out of all of these. I really hope you guys can see that. Okay, back to what we were doing. Practicing our roses. Alright, so now that I've showed you how to make some quick sketches of roses using two different shapes, or you can combine them, we're going to paint it. I'm going to paint this. Okay, so let me put you on a pause, so I got to get my water, and I'm getting a phone call. I'll be right back. Okay, you guys, I'm back, and I have went ahead and squirted out the colors we're going to need for what we're going to use for our loose rose painting. We have scarlet red, phthalo blue, lemon yellow, and titanium white. You're always going to need more white. Okay. I think the easiest way to start you guys off with these loose roses, we're going to start with a dark background on our rose and work our way to our lightest color. So we're going to start with our scarlet red, and then we'll start mixing as we go through. All right, and over here we have brushes, and we're going to start with my little flat here. It is a 1-inch flat. It's my go-to. It's always the one I grab to do my background. And I think we should, I'm trying to decide if we want to do a base color on this or just go straight in on the white. I guess we'll just go straight in on the white. Save some time. We'll do some negative painting around it. Alright, so we'll wet. I have 2 jars of water here also, and a towel. And we'll wet our brush. You don't need a butt ton of water for your acrylic paints, okay? I thought when I first started painting, I would wet my paint so much. I'm sorry if my voice is starting to change. I'm a little stopped up all of a sudden. So, like I said, let's wet our brush. And we're going to start with our scarlet red. Pull some of that out. And we're going to make our 3 circles where our roses are going to go. Here, we did our sketch earlier. This is what we're going to follow. This one, that was the last one we done. We may add some more filler flowers in that as we go. Alright, so let's do circle here. And again, not realistic. We're just going to do the best we can. We're making them very loose. We're not going for anything fancy. Very loose, very easy. I want this one to be a little bit bigger. Let's make that a little bit bigger. And by using this 1-inch flat, I get the most organic shapes, in my opinion. Okay, and we're going to do another one here. And a smaller one toward the bottom. I also have a spray bottle that I keep handy because my paint tends to dry quickly. And this is Artesia, except for the lemon yellow. The lemon yellow is Master's Touch. Very cheap acrylic paint. Nothing fancy. Okay. Now, if you're having trouble getting your paint to spread, of course, add water. Alright, then we rinse off in 1 jar. This is why I have 2 jars. My first rinse goes in this one, and my second rinse in this one to make sure I get all the red off. Okay, while we're waiting on that to dry, we'll go ahead and start blocking in some green for our greenery. Let's see, we have this set of greens right here, which were made with phthalo blue, so they lean more toward the blue end of the spectrum than actual like a greenish yellow grassy color. So let's go with I like these. Obviously there's more yellow in these than blue. Let's just start out and see what we get. We're going to mix our yellow and a dash of blue. You do not need much. You see how quick that changed? You do not need much blue. I'm going to add more yellow. We have this very bright green color. Now, this is too bright for me. I don't care for the bright. I like the muted colors. So, we're going to add just a dab of red. Not much at all. There is barely any red on my brush. I don't know if you can see that. But there's barely a dab of red. We're going to gray this down. Barely a dab. And red is the opposite on the color wheel. So, it's going to gray your green down. Whatever is the opposite on your color wheel to whatever color you're trying to tone down. See green, we have green here, and red is the opposite. Whatever color you're trying to tone down, like if you were trying to tone down yellow, you would go across and it would be violet. I hope you guys can see this. I can't tell. I'm just hoping. If you want to tone down blue, you go across and you would use orange to tone it down. And just start with little amounts. Don't, because it doesn't take much to tone. Start toning stuff down. It's already starting to change. Yellow, blue, yellow, and you just keep mixing until you get something you like. That's how I do it. And I am going to add some white into this in just a second. If you're not sure about the color you have, oh, that was too much red. If you're not sure, hold on, let me rinse my brush. If you're not sure about the color you have, you can always add your white. And my sun is coming through the window behind me. I can see that. My sun, the sun is coming through the window behind me. Hold on. You can always add white to see what you're getting. let's add some white to it. And we got a pretty greenish blue color. A little more yellow. A little more red. Alright, we're going to start blocking in. Oh yeah, that's pretty. A little more white. Alright. And we'll start blocking in some green around this red. This is where our leaves are going to go. And our filler flowers. And I'm still using my 1-inch flat to do this. Starting to dry off, so I grab a little bit of water. Start pushing the paint around. If you hit a flower like I just did right there, it's okay because we're going to paint over it. It's not a problem. Do not stress. Make this a little bluer. I want to go darker around this side over here. Okay. Alright, our flowers should be dry, so we're going to continue with those. Rinse this, and I'm going to move to a smaller brush. I think I'm going to move to a smaller round brush. This one is a 10 round. Okay, wet it in the clean jar, get the drip water off, and we're going to take our red. Let's see what colors we got on here. This was made with white all the way down. You just add more white than red to get it lighter. So we're going to do a medium because you don't want to go straight to your lightest color. You want that to be last, okay? Always want your lightest colors to be last. Grab some white. That is super bright, you guys. Wow. So we are going to add, if we look at our color wheel, and we see red, we're going to add green to tone it down. So the green we've already made over here will tone this down for us. If it's not dry and I can pick some up, I'm picking up more blue. Let's turn, I don't like that. Hold on. I don't care for that at all. Hold on 1 second. Let's fix it. Not a problem. I'm going to lay out more red. Go with our white. Grab our white. Get that bright pink color. I'm going to fix that by doing this. We're going to make a green. Okay, because we'll be using more green anyway, so it's not a waste. We're going to make more green. I'm going to lighten that up a little bit. Put a dab in there. Rinse off the brush. And it tones it down nicely. Good job. Alright. It's going to be our medium. We're going to come here and start making our C curves. And I hope you can see that because it's barely picking up. Green. Let's make it a little bit lighter so you can see it on camera. I'm not sure. I want to make sure you guys can see this. Okay. And we're doing our C curves with this. And this is going to be almost like maybe our shadowy colors. Pick up some green. Pick up some green. I want some more red. I want some white. And you just mix until you get something you like, you guys. Until it's not hard. Super duper not hard. Okay, very easy. Alright, then we'll move to the next one. And against the scarlet, it's looking kind of a mauve color, which is okay. This is just our shadow block in. It's nothing serious. We're going to go over everything we're doing right now, so do not panic. I want some of these leaves to lay out a little bit further. There we go. I mean, petals, not leaves. There we go. See, I just made a triangle out of that one. And that is okay. All right. Bring some of these out a little bit. I want to make these a little bit bigger. All right. I'm going to let that dry. While that's drying, let's look at some of our other colors. We have these pretty purples right here. Now, to make purple, red, blue, make purple. I'm going to add white. And if you want to tone down purple, let's look at our color wheel. You want blue, and that purple is leaning toward more the blue violet. So, a yellowy orange is what we need to tone that down. So, and we're going to put this into the background. Some shadowy parts in our background. So, let's make a purple. Okay, I unlocked the screen and closed the window, hoping that would help with the lighting situation. So let's continue making our purple. We're still leaning toward blue, so let's add some more red. Here we go. All right, a bit more blue, more red. That's pretty. Just add a little bit of white into that. Okay, put some water in there. All right, this is going to be some of our shadow color. So we're going to add this right here. You probably hear my cat purring and meowing. He's trying to get on my table. All right, under the flowers. And now I'm just going to pop some in over here just to add some depth to this background. Okay. Don't worry, every painting has an ugly stage. It will come together, I promise, at the end. Okay. Rinse my brush. Alright, I think the flowers are dry. Yes, they're drying quick today because of the humidity in the air. Alright, so we're going to take our red and we're going to make a shade lighter than what we put on here before. I always want to keep just going lighter, going lighter. Your lightest shade will be your last layer. Okay? Let's grab some green off of here. We can tone this down some. Yep. Alright. And, nope. Let's make it a little bit lighter. Okay. Here we go. Start popping in petals. Where you want petals. Have to be anything serious. Sorry, these cats are losing their minds. Obnoxious. Okay. And here. Just like that. Bring your petals out. And then we'll do this one. And we're going to go in and tighten this middle, so it's okay. When we get around to the last layer, we're going to start tightening. Alright, let that dry. And you may want to go in at some point, once we start getting to our lighter shades, and pop shadows back into the flowers. If we lose some of that depth, we'll see when we get there. Okay, so let's start making some leaves. Let's pop this yellow and some white. I love the color that lemon yellow and white, titanium white make. It is so, so pretty. Okay, let's grab some of that green. Pop that in there. And some of this lavender. If I can pick some of it up if it hasn't dried already. Okay. A little dab of blue, not much. Alright, that's a pretty color. And then I'm going to start popping leaves in where I want leaves. And it's wherever you want your leaf. It can be where I'm putting mine, or it can be someplace totally different. It can be different shapes, different colors, however you want to do it. Our focus today is making loose roses, okay? Concentrating on making these loose, fun roses. Let's see what this does. Color right here. Ooh, I like that. That's pretty. Let's add some white to it. That's nice. I like that. I know that's not a typical leaf color, but that'll help add some depth. Okay, and again, our roses are dry, so we're going to go up another shade. Let's take this, and I'm going to spray my paint with my bottle because it is drying out. Everything's drying out. Okay. And we're going to make that a little bit. My white's contaminated, so if I get a little bit of another color in there, we may have to make another go at it, but that's okay. Okay, let's see how this is. Okay. And we're going to, now when we start to tighten up that center, I will be going even to a smaller brush. We're going to move to a liner. That's usually what I tighten my centers up with at the end. So I will be showing you guys that. And like I said, we're just doing this very quickly, very fast. Keep that hand moving. Keep the eye moving, keep the hand moving. You start getting stagnated and it's going to start tightening up. Let that dry. And we will go back to our background again. I'm going to rotate. Let's try a filbert. Let's see what a filbert does. Let's wet it in our clean water. And let's make a green over here. A little bit more yellow, not much. A little white. Okay. Let's see what we can pop in here. This is a translucent color right here, so this would be a good one to layer with. Layer. The cats are there fighting over a toy. And let's see, make a little blue translucent tint and pop in some stuff. And we'll do some filler flowers in a minute. We'll work on that. Okay. Sorry, it's shaking. Okay, and oh, my paintbrush broke. All right. And let's go with again our round. Actually, I'm going to take a tinier. We were using our 10 round, so now let's move to our 6 for tighten up. We're going to start tightening up these roses. All right, so now what we're going to do is take out more white and just a dab of this other color. Okay, just a dab, just a little bit, just to get a tint into this white. Okay, and I kind of twirl my brush a little bit, keep that point on there at the end. All right, so I'm going to start in the middle. We're going to start making our curves tight in the middle. And then as we move out, a little bit looser as we move out, like that. Okay. We'll do the next one. Okay. Tight in the middle. And again, it's just wherever you want to put a petal. It's not written in stone. We're not going by a picture. We're not looking at anything in front of us. It's just wherever you think a petal would be pretty. Okay? All right. Now our next go around with the petals may be a darker color to bring some of these shadows back in. I think we'll do that so we don't lose them. Alright, so we'll let that dry. And we're going to try to define our background a little bit more. Now, I'm going to go back to my 10 round, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick up this reddish color we're working with, maybe a medium or a dark tone, and we're going to lay just a few spots into this background to give the appearance or the illusion or the feel of flowers back off in the distance or tucked away in a bush maybe. So let's pick up some of this red. Dab of white, not much. More red, we need more red. I hope you guys can see this, I really do. Okay. And some green to tone this down. That was a bit too much. Too bright. Okay. There, now we have a darker tone of what we've been using. And we're going to pop it in, but once it gets against this green, it's going to be bright. So you want to go kind of dark, darker than what you normally would. You know, what you would normally like. Because it's going to go against this green. It's complementary, so it's going to make it pop. So you don't want it to be too bright. We're just doing little peaks, little hints of where maybe some flowers may be hidden back up in the bush or in the distance, however your paint is going so far. Just a few spots here and there. Rinse off. Okay, let's see. This is not quite dry, it's still tacky. So we're going to do some more things on the, I think I'm going to use my big fat round. This is a 16 round. And we are going to do some decorating in the background. We're just going to put stuff where we think stuff will look pretty. Basically. We'll make this shadowy color here. Light, this very light blue turquoisey color. It's pretty. And it will pop in certain spots. And it's going to help bring depth. So maybe around some of those spots where we just laid some of that red, I'll put this shadowy color. In between these two flowers right here. That'll help these pop. You'll have light, dark, light, light, dark, light, light, dark, light. So we're going to pop this shadow color in between. And this round gives it a really soft, no harsh lines, really soft appearance. Okay. Alright, so we're going to take our liner. This is, oh my gosh, I can't even read it. I don't know. I'm not sure. It's a small liner. The paint's covering up the number and I can't remember what it is, but you see it. It's got a little point on the end. Wet it just a little bit. And we're going to take our white. Actually, no. Stop. Don't do that. Stop with the white. We're going to go in with our darker color first. I'll take our red. We're going to make another dark, medium to dark color like this over here. So take our blue, a purpley color, red. So it's leaning more toward the red side than the blue side. It's going to be popped in our flowers. A little white, not much white because you want it to stay dark. So you don't want a lot of white. Oh, that's pretty. Okay. A little more red. Alright, this is going to be our shadowy color inside our flower. So, I hope you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to go in my middle here. Very fine lines with this. I don't want to put too much, but you do want to have just enough. So very fine balance between shadow and light is what you're doing. To help the eye bring everything together. Add depth. Okay. Let me get my spray bottle because I like that. So I'm going to wet it so I can keep using it for a few more minutes. Okay. And maybe right here, 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 here. Darken up that spot. All right. And then we'll go to the next one. We're going to darken up the center. It's important to keep that center dark, because when you're looking down at a rose, the center is dark. And that helps add depth to your petals. Wherever you think a shadow needs to be, pop it in. And we're going to let this dry, and then we'll move on to our lightest layer, and probably our last layer of our rose. I'm kind of going slow, and I'm actually going slow and paying a little more attention than I actually would if I was just painting this on my own, so you guys to see everything that's happening. You know, no two roses are the same, so different is good. Alright, we're going to let that dry, and let's pop in. I'm going to go back to my big round because I like the softness it gives to the background. And let's see, we have a lot of shadow going on. Let's add some brighter color here. That's a pretty green. I want it a little bit lighter. There we go. Yeah, that looks good. And we're just going to pop this in a few places. The more layers you can give with acrylic paint, the more depth your painting is going to have. So just remember that. The more layers you can put on, the more depth it's going to have. I have some paintings that have 12 or 13 layers of paint. And we're just putting this in wherever you feel like putting it. There's no rhyme or reason to it. Just wherever you feel like it needs to go. And then we'll darken it a little bit. Make it a little bit on the bluer end. Pop some of that in. Because it's going to read as leaves. So your brain is going to read it as leaves no matter what. Alright. How about we do a filler flower real quick? Just to... Alright, so we'll grab our little liner again. And we're going to do like maybe a baby's breath. I know my camera's going in and out, and I'm sorry about that. But the lighting's better if I unlock it. So we're going to do a baby's breath. So baby's breath are white, light blue. Actually, it can be any color you want it to be, but I'm going to go with, I think I'm going to go with a very light blue. So I'm going to take white and just a dab of blue. That's too much. Okay, there we go. Very light blue. And start dabbing in where I would like to see a filler flower. Okay, there. And up here. I'm just dotting, dot, lift, dot, lift, dot, lift. Just trying to fill in some space. Over here. We're going to go over the filler flower again in just a minute. I'm going to let it dry, and then we're going to go over it with a color, probably blue. Okay. Let that dry. Now we're going to take our same liner, and this time we're going to go, I'm going to try to make this my final pass over my roses. So what I'm going to do is what I like to do. Now you can add color to this if you want to, but I like to go in with straight titanium white, add to the tube for my last pass over my roses. And I just make very small marks where I want a little highlight to be on my rose. Very small. Okay, do the same thing over here. Keep the center tight. And then work it out this way. Okay. And move on to the next one. Keep the center tight. And wherever you want to lay down, just pass over the roses. I think they look good. I'm sure yours do too. Very simple, very easy. You see these bigger ones toward the bottom, those are the ones that are falling outward. And the more of those you can add in there, you can give your flower, the more organic it's going to look. Okay, instead of just a circle. Like this unevenness around the edges. Okay, so I'm going to take, I think it's easier to use this round, 6 round for what I'm about to do. Okay, we're going to go in and fix these filler flowers. We're going to add a little color to them. And I want mine to be kind of dark on the top. So I'm going to use this phthalo blue. Actually, I think I want lavender. Let's make this a little purpley. Add some white to it, and it's still on the blue side, so add some more red. Okay, there we go. That's pretty. Alright, and start dotting in. Just over the white that we did. Just start dotting. Like I said, you're making layers. The more layers you can give it, the more depth your painting will have. Okay? And it doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to make sense to you, because the viewer's brain and eye will fill in any missing pieces, I promise. Okay? So, and if you want to, you can make little stems coming off of these filler flowers. Little stems inside, just to connect them so they look like they're floating. You don't have to, it's totally up to you. If you like the floating look, then go for it. Just trying to connect them. Okay. Let's see. I think that's it. I think we're good, guys. So, there you go. That's your loose roses. Hope you had fun. I hope you practice. And I may do another video, but thanks for hanging out with me. This was fun. This turned out pretty. I like it. Let me know in the comments how yours turned out. If you have any questions, I'm here to answer them. And I will see you guys later. Bye.